Hello and welcome to the LMS webinar series. In this clip we'll be talking about monitoring network performance using LMS. Before we talk about performance monitoring, let's take a look at what is involved in managing network performance. Basically there are four pillars for performance monitoring. One is the availability, then you have utilization. We can also talk about latency, and last but not least, errors. So let's take a look at each one of these pillars and see how LMS can help you manage those better and help you with performance monitoring. Okay, so let's dive into availability. First and foremost, with the LMS's new portal technology, you can arrange the portlets the way you want. There's a plethora of portlets that are at your disposal. For example, if you can click here, you can type in availability if you like, and you can get a lot of portlets that you can use and quickly make your own availability view, if you will. For example, there's a very quick device availability view that tells you how many devices are not available or how many are available in last 1 hour. There's also an IPSLA availability dashboard, so if you have configured any IPSLAs, you can quickly see which of the devices are having availability issues. For example, this device is only 50% available. So you can get some very good reports right at your fingertips. And there's also a very good alerting mechanism that tells you if a device is unreachable or not available. And this is all summarized very nicely in a portlet in this manner. We talked about availability, so now let's talk about utilization. See how LMS can help you with monitoring your utilization and thereby improving your performance of your network. When talking about utilization, you may want to look at utilization from a real-time point of view, from a historical point of view. You also may want to do some thresholding and trending as well on utilization. Then you can get a holistic picture of what's going on in your network. So HUM, or Health and Utilization Monitoring, an add-on, gives you a very good idea of how much utilization there is in your network. It easily gives you your top end utilization that you need to look at instead of bogging down with looking at all of the interfaces. So if you click on here, it takes you to a Cisco view page from the device center, and that gives you a graphical interface. So for example, if I found out that my serial 30 is having some utilization problem, I can very quickly right click on that interface and I can say monitor, and I can go as low as 5 seconds real-time graphing. That is very, very useful if you have any users that's having a real-time problem. So now I can choose my refresh rate to be 5 seconds, and I can see some very good statistics right there. So that gives you my utilization on a real-time basis. Now this may be good for your NOC operator or someone who's having problem very real time. If you want to monitor it, say for maybe last 1 hour or so, then portal would be the best approach of doing that. So let's go back one more time into the portal, and now you can see what are my cumulative interface utilizations for last 1 hour, and I can quickly see which device is having the top problem. So this is out of the box. You don't have to do any configuration, just turn them on, and you can get CPU utilization, memory utilization, as well as the interface discards and things like that. You can very quickly create some of the thresholds in the system as well. For example, I can click here if I have 3 thresholds that are configured, and it's telling me that if I have any temperature related issue in any of my devices that's over 25 degrees, then send me a critical message. You can run a script, you can send it to yourself, you can do all of those. So once you do that, you should be able to see your a breach of thresholds right there on the portal. So this is a very good way of figuring out where you're having some problems. Now we'll talk about trending in a minute, but this is the best way to get the utilization going. With LMS 3.2, that's coming out. That's on the horizon. It's coming out in June timeframe. You can do some amazing things with custom, top-end portlets. So there's a MIB that you can load called the Cisco Stack MIB, and once you load the MIB, you can very quickly, customize which MIB variables you want to pull. And once you do that, you can quickly create your own pollers. Say you want to pull every 5 minutes for this particular template that you just created. And once you have the template, you can quickly use the top N portlet to populate this MIB values, and it gives you your min, max, and average right on the bat. This is what the portlet looks like that was just created for the backplane interface utilization. And as you can see, you can populate your own temperature values if you like, and you can create your own top end. Alright, response time and latency is one of the next of the pillars of performance monitoring. Let's see how LMS can help us there. Alright, so let's get back to our availability portal that we just created in the beginning. So I just added one more portlet for latency, and as you can see, I can quickly click on that latency time and it brings me a real-time monitoring dashboard. Now this is real-time, it's telling us as we pull. So we'll come back to this, after looking at how LMS can help you with the historical latency view. Alright, from the Internet Performance Monitoring dashboard here, we can click on the report archives, and then we can quickly configure a report. Say, give me my UDP jitters on a probe for maybe last 1 month. Select the probe we want, and I'm going to choose this to give me my UDP jitters for last daily, and generate the report. So if you look at the chart here, I see that all of a sudden, my jitters have improved. So what's going on? But if you can correlate, you can see the latency has gone down, meaning the packets are now flowing faster for this particular time, and that's why the jitters went down. And also, if you look at the error count, my error count here was lower, and that's why the jitters actually improved. So you can visually correlate using LMS. Alright, so now if you go back and look at the real-time monitor that we launched, this is it's telling us it's around 28 milliseconds or something for the latency. So the real-time latency graph will tell you exactly what's going on right now. Alright, let's talk about errors. This is probably one of the most important. If you're getting a lot of errors in the network, there's no way you can have a very good performing network. So let's take a look at how LMS can help you with figuring it out, what errors are out there in your network. Okay, as we mentioned, there are some few portlets out of the box that gives you very powerful information, and one of them would be the top N interface errors. This is probably by far one of the most monitored object IDs, if you will. And if I deploy that in my network, I can see that one of my call managers is having a lot of interface errors. So let's take a look at what's going on. So this will tell me the error rate right now, but what if I wanted to take a look at the quick historical view of this? So I can quickly jump into my histographic portlet, and then I can punch in my device name, and then I can select my interface errors, and then probably I can select the interface again, and I can say how long of a period do I want to see the history for. So I can say dive into a 1 month worth of history, and let's graph it, and right off the bat it can tell you what's going on. Did I miss anything, or is there anything? So if you look at the graph, I can see that for a certain time the error went down, but it came back up again. So maybe I can then check around this area and see what's actually going on in my network. So LMS can really probe deeper into your errors and give you more meaningful information right from the portlet. Thank you for tuning in.